Alright, in the interest of, normally I would make myself a door spreader. If I have a whole bunch of these to do, I will make a spreader that I can just lay down in here, and it will hold these at the right width and hold them square at the same time, and it makes it so much quicker. But in this case I only have one door, so it's not worth my time to make one for this one door. You can see I did have to split these in order to get my correct width. And then this was also, it's been tweaked, like you had seen, it was bent up in that corner, so it was trying to tweak out. So I put this there for now. Once I get this anchored into my anchor points there, I will, then these can come out. But that's holding it open, or keeping it from twisting while I try to get my floor anchors in there. You can see though, once this spread out, and I got this, it's not plumb yet, but I did get it over. It was pushing pretty hard this way, so I pulled it over and tacked it. Now you can see, it turns out I don't need the shim. So we're not gonna use the shim. We're gonna anchor that down into the floor. And once that part's done, that's the hardest part. Then going from there, gravy. All right, so this side was a lot easier since I don't have that adjacent wall right here blocking me from getting in. So I was actually able to get both anchors in pretty easily from this side. So there they are. It's anchored in. We still got Christmas going on up there. Super duper. All right, so next you would, just before you walk away, you would check your spread. If you're a tiny bit big, that's good. If you're exact, that's okay. If you're under, that's not good. Now here, we're at 88 and a big 1/8 right there. And for a double door, that's perfect, because that means you're less than 1/8 on each side. Even if it was a quarter, you'd still be probably okay on a double door like this, as long as you get this tweaked to where you are about 1/8 on each side. That's a little much. You don't really want to be 1/8 if you can avoid it. But 1/8 you can shim. You can shim it a little at the bottom, middle, hold it tight at the top to kind of cock that door perfectly plumb square. But a quarter big it's a little much, but you can probably get away with it on a double door like this. Where you would not be able to get away with a 1/4 inch is a single swing door. That is too much. You want to be about a 1/16 of an inch to a max of an 1/8 inch big at the bottom compared to your head, because that gives a little bit of room for, especially over time, if it kind of tries to pinch and pull in a little bit on the anchors. And that is especially true if you have a side that's shimmed up, because that shimmed side now has a deflection point between the actual foot of the door and the floor. So you have that little bit of deflection right there that can happen, especially with vibration over time. And so you want to compensate for that with about a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch big. And then if it does deflect closed, well, now you're just going to be spot on instead. Or maybe it might deflect a little more and be a 1/16 small, but technically a door that's a 1/16 small at the bottom will still close. But you don't want to be a 1/16 small brand new. If it ends up a 1/16 small over time, it's not going to interfere with the door closing. So go about a 1/16 to 1/8 big at the bottom. And here we're about a big 1/8, which is like a big 1/16 on each side, and that's perfect for a double door like this. So we're good to go. We're going to take the laser there, get it set up on the jamb, get it squared, check the other side, check both sides on a double door particularly, check both, since you have a door on both sides, check both jambs and get them equal. Don't get one perfect and just call the other one good. Check both and get them equally. If they're a little off, like we're a little big at the bottom, so if you get this side perfect, this side's going to be off. So instead you get this side just that strong 1/16 off, And this side should also be a strong 16th off, and your money. So we got the laser set up on the jamb. Pretty square. You want to be as square as possible. Everything square as possible. So there we go. We got it lit up like Christmas there. And then we're a little tiny bit off right there. But remember, we were big by like a small 1/8 on each side. Big 16th, small 1/8. So we'll go over here. Light that up like Christmas time. There we go. It's like Christmas. And we're about exactly the same right here. So now we got that good. We can screw this in all the way. And I'm human. I make mistakes. And sometimes things just don't work out as good as we like. You can see I flattened the finger flange on that stud, because you can see I have virtually nothing to screw to right there, but down here I do. So that tells you that this wall is kind of falling away. And then down here, same thing, I got plenty to screw to there, but this wall again kind of going away, but not quite as much. So I got some room to screw into. So what I should have done, honestly, is I should have pinched the flanges on both sides going down, but at the same time, that may have made it more difficult or even impossible to really get the door over that because it was so tight. So what I can do is just cut a small little piece of metal, like the leg of some of that track there, and just screw it in here and here, and just screw a little flat piece there, little flat piece there, like that. Just a couple pieces right there, and then this side I should be able to screw in completely. Like, I'll just barely get it, but I'll get it. But for that side, I'll put a couple little flat pieces there to bridge them together to hold it. And then once you got it sheetrocked, it's just not going to go anywhere. But that's hindsight. Sometimes it happens to the best of us. But once I get those screwed in, I'll be ready to make my box beam header. And we're just going to put a piece of 33 mil track on the top there. Fill it in with studs. We'll drill holes in the box header for the electrician flex to go up and out, and probably need to drill a large hole right there for them to stub anything down they need to right there for that door closer. This is going to get a door closer. So we're also going to put a piece of heavy gauge flat metal on there. They are going to screw into the head of the door, but also you want something for them to screw the top side of that door closer to keep it from kind of trying to pull away like that. So we'll give them that flat metal as well, which is right there. There we go. There's our flat metal right there. So we'll put that on as well, and then we'll get ready to sheetrock it after that.